Welcome back to the TechLX Random Minecraft Lessons with Dave.
And Baker. Hello.
All right, we're back.
That's me.
You're looking great. Never looked better.
Yeah. So, right now, I'm going to teach you sort of a really basic idea of what a good faction space can be. And this is a really simple faction space. If you know what you're doing, you can get in here. But it's very easy to build. So, the stage at which you could make this and the amount of resources someone would spend trying to raid it would be really sort of off. Somebody trying to raid this would put a lot more into it than you would probably have in here. Once you got like worthwhile items, you'd probably want to build a better base. So what this is a box, and you can see that, but it's a faction base. It is completely surrounded in water, and then it also has regenerating walls. So if you notice, I poke a hole, the walls regenerate. And I can do that in the roof as well, up here. And there are slabs on the roof. Oh, well, they're not regenerating on the roof because of the slabs. But they would regenerate if the slabs get broken, which is, so the slabs are a second safety mechanism because slabs break sand. And one of the cool things that sand can do is if I have this cobblestone and I summon a bunch of TNT on it, the TNT blows up the cobblestone, as you might expect. But if I put water on top of it, there we go, you'll notice that that TNT does not actually blow up the cobblestone. And you can do that as many times as you want, but water makes the cobblestone invincible.
Wow.
So, and then just one more time so that it's not like floating off to the side again, which was a weird graphical glitch. Still doesn't blow up the cobblestone. However, if we summon some sand there, you'll notice that there's now this pillar. And so one of the strategies of cannoning bases in factions is to get TNT stuck in these sand blocks. Because when that happens, TNT blowing up in water doesn't do anything. But now, if you get it stuck in the sand blocks, because sand can also be shot, it's now in sand, so it blows up normally. So, in this case, I've just built a very simple way. So basically all this does is summon falling sand and summon prime TNT in the same spot. And now you'll notice that it gets destroyed. So the way you prevent that is by using slabs. Because when you have a slab here and you summon a bunch of sand, it breaks on the slab. So people can't do that to you. So that's what is up here. And then also what is down on the bottom. So if you come down to the bottom of this, you'll actually notice that I've slabbed the whole underside of this. So if you come into the water, I've slabbed everything down here. So this is all slabs. So anybody who's trying to shoot sand up against the wall of my base to try to get TNT to be able to blow up, it's just going to break on my slabs. And again, you can still get in here and you can still get sand there by destroying those slabs, but doing that is a pain and takes a lot of TNT and not really worth it. So, and then if you want to get in here, you would have your faction home set in there. So it's actually a fairly big space, and that's actually, I should be able to get in, but we'll see. I'll let you know. Yeah, here we go. So I'm in it now, and I'll TP Dave to me.
Awaiting teleportation. All right.
Dave is now in the room. It's not very big. Obviously, you'd make this a little bit bigger. You'd want to fill up the whole chunk and then claim the chunks around it. Having nine chunks claimed is pretty fine because you can have 10 power, and then if you have one other person in your faction, so you have 2 players in your faction, even if that person dies a bunch of times and gets to -10 power, you can still hold the land and can't be overclaimed. So I think 9 chunks for a starter is pretty good. So 9 just sort of like in a grid shape. So just like you have this center one, this center is where your base is, and then all the ones around it are just claimed. And you claim them just so that it's a little harder to counter you.
This is one impenetrable fortress.
Yeah, and again, not impenetrable, but it's an absolute pain. So
yeah,
it's also fairly easy to build. I'll show you the premise behind it. I'll TP Dave to me.
Well, thank you.
So the idea is basically a combination of, and actually I'm going to use //drain here. There we go. So it's basically the idea that some of you have been, if you've been playing Minecraft for a while, may know this, that water and lava actually form a cobblestone generation, so they can actually make cobblestone between them. And oh, I forgot a very key part of this. You guys probably are all laughing at my new mistake. Don't do that. Don't turn it into obsidian. But you have to make sure if water is right next to it, to lava, but isn't flowing towards the lava, so as soon as water touches lava, then it turns into obsidian. But, as you can see right here, this forms cobble. And that's what this whole wall is doing. This whole wall is generating cobblestone. So the premise of this is just making a whole wall out of that. And then in the case where someone would try to drop sand onto my wall, and I'm actually going to shift this so that I can use the TNT as an example. Oh, come on. So now, in this case, this block right here that I'm on is the wall. And so I have water on the outside because water is slightly better at protecting from TNT than lava is, because lava flows a little bit more slowly. So if anything ever happens around the outside, water will flow out and bother anybody who tries to mess with it. So the premise here is if somebody tries to summon some TNT in there, and that might still blow up because the TNT is floating, yeah. But you notice how that immediately refills. So it heals itself. That one block in the corner healed itself. And then I'll just use, I'll just put bedrock here so that to keep it in. So I can put TNT in here, and even though the TNT is there, it blows up. But then it heals. So it's pretty hard to get through. And then by putting a slab here, I make it a lot harder for people to do that slab and the TNT and sand combination. So now all of that sand just broke. So when I put TNT in again, it breaks and then heals.
Wow.
So
it's like a healing wall, basically.
It is. And so it is raidable, but it's pretty hard to raid. It's a pain.
Nice.
So that's just like a quick tip on factions. This is really easy to build, especially because most of the walls actually build themselves. It just takes a lot of lava. You have to have a lot of lava to make this work.
Very, very cool. That is that's going to be helpful. That's going to keep people safe.
Yeah, it's a great base for starting out in factions.
Very cool.